Alright, so this is what I came up with. It's the whole half pipe section covered in glass. I was gonna cut the middles out, but I kinda like it this way. It's gonna cost me more glass to do this, but it is what it is. It's not bad. Take the chunk borders off. This is what it would look like. And we're gonna have this going all the way down the base. I should be good on glass because I'm still producing it, and I still have like 160,000 glass still in the super chest, so it shouldn't be bad. And this right here represents a 3x3 chunk space. I could double this up to make that part of the schematic. I should just double it up instead of walking it down each section by each section all the way to the end of the thing or whatever. I wish there was an automatic. There is an I mean, I could build a contraption to automatically just build this across the entire base, but it's gonna take a little bit of work. I would need that'll be more of the interesting way to do it. You know, have a deployer basically putting all of these blocks in. You know what I'm saying? But I will have to come up with some kind of way to make it skip over these blocks, have air blocks here, and then put it in the next blocks. I don't really know how to do that. I could engineer something. It's not impossible to do. I could engineer something to do that, but I don't really want to think about it too much. Maybe a sequence gear shift, something like that. That'll turn the deployers off when it comes to these blocks right here. That'll be the more interesting method to actually put this in. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother project though. That's the only thing. That's a whole nother project. I don't know if I really want to do that or get back to progress, but it doesn't matter anyway. I'm not gonna be able to get back to progress anytime soon because I'm LUV right now. I'm like the early stages of LUV, and in order for me to properly progress through LUV and keep going up, I have to rearrange my base for A2. I have to. It's almost a necessity because you're not going to be, from LUV up, you're not really going to be able to do stuff by hand. And mind you, I've been crafting everything and doing mostly everything by hand all the way up until this point. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, I updated the pack a while ago. You know what I'm saying? Like months ago. So, because I first started playing this pack on Create 5.0. So, I got the update in order to use the frogs and the chain ports in Create 6.0, and I was going to use that to automate, but I never actually got around to actually setting up automation setups or whatever for most of the things that I needed using Create, because I didn't have the capability to get the A2 yet. But also, every single time that I updated it, it pushed A2 to higher tiers of technology. So currently where I'm at right now, I forgot where it was at before, but currently where I'm at, you know, this version of the pack or whatever, you can't get into A2 until EV. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm at right now, EV LUV. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm at right now. But I'm so far progressed, and my base is laid out in such a way where it's gonna take eons to try to clean that up. You know what I'm saying? Try to clean it up and make it whistling. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. That's another reason why I just decided to focus on the aesthetic element until, you know, that's how I feel like it actually. Until I feel like actually setting it up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. If I do that with the deployers, that means that the base, this section of the base can basically build itself while I work on progress. And I'm debating on if I should actually do that. It does save me time. The only issue is that there's no chunk loading blocks in this entire pack, and I'm not gonna add any. Which means if I get too far away from the contraption will stop actually building itself. And it will make more sense to actually do this with the schematic cannon. But of course, with the schematic cannon, I have to be somewhere in the vicinity. I could chunk load it, you know what I'm saying, but I don't feel like really chunk loading more stuff down the entire base. You know what I'm saying? Also, I could chunk load it if I built like a deployer for a floor building contraption or whatever. That was my initial thought even before I did the floor path platform. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna do something I did all the way back in the day, my first video, whatever, build a floor building contraption or whatever. But it's harder to do with Create. Like I said, you will need a sequence gear shift or something like that to tell the deployer when to turn on and when to turn off, so you can compensate for all the air blocks in the build. You know what I'm saying? Which is that'll be difficult by itself just to set that up properly. So I don't know, but yeah, this half pipe section is gonna go all the way down the entire base. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's two simple designs. It's just a floor, you know what I'm saying, and this right here, but it still looks unique enough. You know what I'm saying? And then of course with all my crazy builds on top of that, you know what I'm saying. I still want to do something like this to outline a lot of my builds. In what's the name, but that's gonna take a lot of work because some of my builds are actually on the actual floor, and I'm gonna have to break away the floor in order to put brackets around it like this, the way I want to. But it is what it is. Proud of this too, you know what I'm saying? It took a long time. This is my first iteration of a perpetual LV circuit generator, you know what I'm saying? Meaning that it prints LV circuits out of thin air forever. You know what I'm saying? First iteration. I never built this up though. I did build it up, and then I ended up breaking it down because it was too complicated. Like the internal guts of all of this was too complicated. I was getting lost. That's why I had to color code the pipes or whatever. But yeah, I built another version of this. You know what I'm saying? This still does the same thing, but it's not in a cube like this. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted it to be nice and neat and in the cube like that. Yeah, but anyway, this is gonna be the design right here. Like I said, I could actually let's make a schematic right now of this, and we're gonna double it up. Yeah, elevator right there. Yeah, it's right there. Alright. Come on, half pipe section. And let's get another empty schematic. And we're gonna put this over here. I wish the Create schematics were as versatile as schematics. They aren't, but it's nice for certain stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like builds with functional blocks in it, it can get you know, a little funny or whatever. Alright, so that's good right there. Make sure it's completely lined up properly. It is. And then now we're gonna take a schematic of this entire section. I should put brackets down here to make sure everything lines up properly the way I want it to. I need something to make it out of. Let's just use glass. And we're coming to right here. Yeah, right here. That's good right there. Same thing over here. The reason why I do stuff like this is to make sure everything measures up and lines up properly. And what we're gonna do right here is turn this back on. Alright. I believe it's right there, something like that. I'll just get rid of the middle. Alright, and that's good to go. Alright, so I'll need this or this or this. Get rid of all of that. Get rid of this. We're gonna call this double half pipe. Alright, that's it. Now I'm good to go. Good to start printing this into the world. There's one other thing that I want to add, but I'm not going to talk about it right now. I want to add a bit of color to this though. Let's try something real quick. What's the middle? 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're gonna change this to replace only blocks. For right now, actually, let's turn this back. Blocks in the air. Put that right there. Now we're gonna change it to only blocks. How does that look? That's alright, but maybe we could replace the entire thing. Let's replace the entire thing. Switch this to floor. Yeah, I like that better. I like that better. Alright, so that's what we're gonna do. Alright, let's go back and turn this off. Alright. Let me call this. Alright, that's gonna be our schematic.